D-Champ, intellectually stimulating. How are you? Back once again. Let me ask you a question. Do you want a sponsor or a husband? You see, a sponsor someone is who just pays your bills. They come over every once in a while, maybe once or twice a month, maybe once a week. But you see, sponsors pay for you to be just theirs. And if you're with someone else, they change your sponsorship to nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, there are very, very beautiful men and women who were sponsored. But see, normally when you're a sponsor, there are strict rules that come with sponsorship. And if you break these rules, then you lose that sponsor. Most sponsors are watched. You have to be in contact whenever they want you to. You see, that's the part of being sponsored. They're being paid for something. Normally, when you're sponsored, your apartment or your house is paid for. You have an allowance, bills, things like that. Depending on your level of sponsorship, you may have a level of commitment. Or if one person sponsors another person, there are certain things they must do. Or do you want a husband? Because see, a sponsor just pays for you to do stuff. They expect certain things in return. That's a one-way relationship. But you see, when you have a husband, first you have to be a wife, and then you have to put some work in. You have to make his house a home. You see, in order to be a wife, you have to be wife material. You have to be wife able. But before that, you have to be relationship able. But before that, you have to attract a man and be able to keep the man. You have to be able to maintain, build, and grow a successful relationship to a street. You see, all of those things come before a sponsor or a husband. But there's something else that we may have to break down in all of that. Are you girlfriendable? Are you talk toable? Are you work withable? Are you feminine? Would a man choose you? Are you choosable? Are you sexy fine? Are you working toward that? Ladies and gentlemen, the question remains, do you want a spouse or a husband? Do you want a sponsor or a husband? Now, men and women would say, I want a sponsor because of how they feel about men. But you see, many, many sponsors have an expiration date. Once you get to a certain age, you no longer qualify for sponsorship because you have an old body, you have an old mind. They want the new and the young. That's a sponsor. But see, when you have a husband, you don't have an expiration date. Sponsor may last a year, 3 months, 6 months. A marriage can last 80, 90 years. But some of you would rather have a sponsor because that's all you think of yourself as. You're thinking about the short term. You just want the money. But see, those same women would do the things it takes to get them kicked out of sponsorship. How female hypergamy would get you kicked out of sponsorship, as many women have. But see, if you're a committed wife, if you make the house a home, if you know how to cater to a man, if you do the things to keep a man, the wifely duties and the husband duties will much, 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 much outweigh a sponsorship. Do you want a sponsor or do you want a husband? Because see, I see many ladies saying they want a man to pay their bills. But what is a man getting out of the deal? Are you older now? Are you just getting married because you just want a sponsor? You're really not trying to be a wife. You just want somebody to take care of you and pay your bills. That's mostly what I see. Ladies, men want wives. The women that are sponsored are 1%. And let's be honest, men and women want to be sponsored, but your attitude and your personality doesn't say that you do. What comes out of your mouth does not say that you do. The mannerisms and the way you act don't say that you do. You see, you want to sponsor, but you're not sponsorship material. You see, you weren't raised to be a feminine, seductive woman. You weren't raised to be a romantic woman. Your mother was a hard leg. She in the streets. Your grandmother was a thug, and you are too. And now you're looking for high value men. Reality is amazing. But then again, some people continue to live in La La Land. Sponsor or a husband? Think about it. Let me know in the comments.